Hi guys, welcome to my Fallout video. This is a video on my wall around Sanctuary. Right, so I'm going to show you the wall that I did, and I might give you some ideas on whether you want to build a wall around the Sanctuary or not. So just so you know, they do still spawn inside the wall, so unless you create a small area where I'm standing now, they do actually spawn behind the houses, just to my left here, down near the bridge, and by this tree on the right here in the circle. So unfortunately, if you want to maximize your area, which I didn't want to do, I wanted to have the most area, and down the road, if I want to build bigger and better things, then I can certainly do that, right? So, but unfortunately, they do spawn right here, I believe. I haven't seen them spawn here, but they do come from this direction, and I've read that they do actually spawn there, right? So anyway. It's still fun to build a wall right around your settlement. I mean, it's always fun just to kind of have that peace of mind in the back of your mind, and just to have an area where you can do whatever you need to do, right? So anyway, so I will show you that, but let's go and head towards the main gate, and I'll start from that area, and then we'll work our way around, and then we'll talk about various things. But by all means, if you have any questions, just leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So this is the main gate. This is not where I started. I probably started back where I was, and then I worked my way around. But this is the main entrance, so we might as well get started here. So as you can see, my entire sanctuary is surrounded by a concrete wall. Concrete's relatively cheap. You can trade with Carla if you have a bunch of water purifiers. As you can see, I have 7 water purifiers, and I make probably around 200 caps every in-game day, and you can trade that for concrete. So you really have an unlimited supply of concrete that costs you literally nothing, as long as you have these industrial water purifiers, and you do need Science 1 to create those, right? So here we go, we're going to start on this side, and we're going to work our way around. As you can see on the corner, yeah, I just made it a little higher. It was a little lower from the outside. I don't think they could get in, but again, just threw that up there. I have this little building here, but okay, he's going to get out the way. So I built a door here just so I could get around the building at the back here. This is where I used to have a couple of generators, and I moved them. I have a mechanical room now where I store all my generators in. But I had generators all over the place, and it just got all messy and untidy and stuff. So it's probably a good idea, if you haven't started throwing generators all over, to build a room and throw them in there. And I'll show you what I've done. And as you can see, I've really maximized the space right around the property. I built right along the border. They do say though, if you don't build right on the border, like this section specifically, if you build closer to the house, they do actually spawn outside the wall. So keep that in mind. You might want to actually build close to the house at this section. Otherwise, if you don't care, I mean, they're going to raid you anyway, so you may as well just use the space, in my mind. But it's up to you. They do seem to spawn in this area. I do have a whole bunch of turrets at the back here, just to hopefully keep them at bay. Especially since if you're doing water purifiers, your water goes up dramatically, and then the raids start occurring quite frequently in terms of showing up. And I've had mutants, I've had raiders multiple times that come in and do a whole bunch of damage. There is a hedge here. I don't think I can get through hedges, but I didn't take the risk. In most cases, I've built around the hedges. That one is probably the only hedge I haven't actually built around. But I think it just blocks them anyway, and if they spawn inside, it doesn't really matter. So there is one section here, as you guys probably know. There's a stupid tree that leans on the house that you can't actually scrap, unfortunately. So you either have to build around the house, or build walls on top of the house. But I'll show you what I've done to get around that. And also, there's a neat bunker behind this house. So one of the reasons I wanted to have the wall further back, in this case, is I wanted to be able to access that bunker, and I'll show you that bunker in a second. It's just kind of cool to have. So as you can see, this is a stupid tree here. So what I've done is I've thrown a whole ton of concrete at it. They've got these pillars of concrete that you can actually just slip in, and you just try and put them in there, but I don't think they can get in there. There's a little gap there, slight tiny little gap, but other than that, as you can see, a whole ton of concrete through here, but I was able to block them pretty good, right? So I'll show you from the outside in a sec here. So when you do go into the bunker, you actually spawn in the middle of the wall. So if you step left, you're going to go outside, and if you step right, you'll still stay inside. So depending on exactly how you build the wall, as you can see, I used that curved wall, which gave me the best flexibility to get into the bunker and then still remain inside. If you build a straight line wall, it actually throws you outside every single time, right? So for whatever reason, but so this is this cool little bunker down here, a whole bunch of stuff down here. If you haven't been down here, there's a safe, there's a box you could put stuff in there, you could hide a whole bunch of inventory down here if you wanted, but it's kind of neat to have down here. So I'm going to go up, and it's going to look like I've spawned outside, and unfortunately I did step left here, but if you do step right, you'll actually stay inside the wall. Right, but while we're outside, I might as well show you the outside version of the tree problem. So as you can see here, I was right in the middle of the wall. If you saw there a second, like I said, you should step right, you would have been inside the wall. So we're going to step outside. So from the outside, this is what it looks like. So it's pretty blocked. I can't actually get in there, but you can see that they can't climb up the tree as before, right? But I have seen people build, sort of fences on the roof and around to block them from actually getting in. So if you do build around the house or on the sides of the house and then build it on the roof, that's doable as well. So if you didn't want to use concrete, you're using metal, you can do that. So as you can see, the wall all blocked up here. There was a push there. Okay, so we're just going to go around, so we can't actually get back in. There's my mechanical room at the right here. We'll come back and take a look at that. And that's kind of cool. If you do maximize your space, you got all this extra room to build stuff, right? So, and down here, just to the right, I have all my water purifiers that I showed you earlier. It's kind of neat that you can actually build in the water, so you can actually have these all inside your complex. You don't actually need to. I mean, you can build them outside, no problem. They're not good. I don't think they can get attacked or anything. But again, just having everything inside is just going to have a pretty neat, right? And then I'll show you some of just give you from a height perspective. I'll go into some of the buildings here that I built, and then I do have. I can actually get up to about 8 stories with elevators, right? You can't actually build 8 stories in the sanctuary here. I believe Finch Farm you can actually go 13 stories is what I've read. So let's take a quick look here, just to continue at the wall where we left off here at the bottom, and then we'll just work our way back in around the inside. Okay, so here we go. Just from the inside. As you can see, I've got that curved wall. That's how I was able to stay inside. That's right on the border there, so it's really close. Yeah, this is all the concrete that I threw at it. Okay, so this is the mechanical room. As you can see, I don't have science 4 yet, so as soon as I get my science 4, I'll get the thermal generator here. But at the moment, I took all of these. I had all these generators around the property at the settlement, and I just consolidate them in a single room here, and then I feed them through a single conduit that runs in different directions over the place, so it looks nice and neat. Unfortunately, I couldn't build the conduit on the floor, on the ground, out of the way and invisible, because as soon as you put it in the ground, you can't actually connect any further pipes. So it's really silly that allow us to do that. But anyway, it still looks neat up in the air, and maybe it's easier to actually manage up in the air than on the ground. So as you can see, single conduit comes out. I have it running down straight and then to the right, and then it feeds a couple of places on the right here, and then on the left here I have one running down to my water purifiers, where I had four generators there before, and now it's all nice and neat. And there you can see I've got power on my 2 elevators. And that second elevator is on the maximum build height, but you can actually go up further and you'll get a nice view of your settlement from there. Okay, so just continuing on the wall here. Sneak in the back here. Okay, so just around the back here, there's that bush. And this is where I actually started building, when I started building the wall, was in this section. Exactly, yeah, I think, because I can actually see I use these angled walls, which I tend to not use. Okay, and there's my conduit that feeds all my purifiers, nice and neat, I think. Runs pretty straight into my front wall, and then I feed the front gate and all the lights to the front gate. And then we finally at the end of the wall and back at the front gate. The nice thing about this concrete though is when you have these concrete walls, as you can see in the front here, we have the concrete walls. It allows you to build right on top of them and in them and things like that, and become part of the wall, right, which is kind of cool, right? Okay, let's take a visit to the building, and I'll give you a better view of the wall top. There's a house underneath this lot here, so I had to build 3 stories just to cover the house. So I actually only have 1 usable room on top of that. I thought I could do 2 stories, but yeah. So there you can see the wall running around the back, all around the back complex there. Right down at the back. Show you inside this room, which I have nothing in here yet. Just a terminal to control my ammunition machine and my turrets. My elevator. For some reason my other elevator is glitched, so I'm gonna have to restore it and put it back. I was just checking whether this one still works, and it does. Okay, so I'll see if I can get better height here. I'm just going to mess around with this elevator. So I think Codswell got stuck in it, and for some reason it glitched, and I don't have the control panel anymore, which is just silly. But what I'll do is just move it quick. If that doesn't work, then I will just get rid of it, and then I'll put it on the side here so we can at least get to the top. But there's no way to get to the top without the elevator at the moment. Yeah, there's still no control panel there. That's silly. Yeah, Okay, so this is what happened. He went in there and for whatever reason, I think he got stuck underneath or something, and then it glitched, and then try to do this from the second floor before I get rid of it. Come down. Come up. Nope, still no control panel. Alright, let's try and store it. I don't know why it does it. Okay, so I'm just going to put the elevator on the side just so we can get to the top, and I will come back and fix it later, and not wasting more time here. Right, so just throw it up here quick. I'll give it some power. There we go. That should get us to the top. So it can stay at the bottom since it goes to the prompts. Okay, so this is the top floor. This floor where I have the ladder to the right is the maximum building height in Sanctuary. I can actually go any taller than this, and if you do, then it just exits the menu if you try and build it. But what you can do is you can actually throw an elevator on top, and you can go even higher, but you just can't build around it or do anything with it, right? But it gives you a pretty nice view of your settlement. So that's pretty much 8 stories there that you can actually go up in Sanctuary. As you can see, it gives you a pretty decent view of everything. You can already see down the end there. Water purifiers. So I can't actually even build any turrets here. Turrets on the elevator. I tried to build a turret here, thinking I could have a nice high turret here, but unfortunately, they wouldn't allow you to do that. Or put anything on the elevator itself, which is unfortunate. Not silly though, but. Well, there you go. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the like button and please consider subscribing to the channel, as it does help me out. Enjoy and stay safe.